I'm a man and I have something to say and I'm going to make a podcast about it. But just trust me because, like, just trust
Aliens.
me. No, trust me so much. It's not like bee-boo, bee-boo. I promise you, it's not. It's like, whoa, that sounded really sexy there.
That really did.
I'm going into offensive territory, so I'm going to reel back the accent.
Hi guys, welcome back to As Seen In.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode. Really looking forward to this one. It's been a minute since we've done something
Okay,
like
yeah,
this.
this is true.
Mm-hmm.
But before we start...
Okay. Yeah, you said
yeah.
before we started filming, Katie was like, I have some things I want to discuss. I was like, okay.
And I was like, they're not relevant to our podcast literally at all. Don't look at my notes, by the way.
Oh, no, don't
I've
worry.
got all of my
Don't
plan
fret.
on there.
Don't fret.
Just a few things, because I feel like sometimes you go into it straight away.
Okay.
And, you know,
Sorry,
we need to, like,
not the
get...
ASMR of me swallowing. Okay, go.
I feel like we need to, like, speak a bit more before we start about just topics.
Okay.
Like, not loads,
Okay.
but, like, just a little bit.
What's
I
up?
have a few things. Okay, one of them is film related.
Okay.
And one of them is also related to the podcast. So, actually...
You're like, this has nothing
There's
to do.
two things that have nothing to do with it. First thing, and I feel like this has been recirculating again recently,
Okay.
is what colour did you see that dress as?
The white and gold dress.
Yeah. You saw
Yeah,
it
I
as
saw
white
it
and
as
gold.
white and gold.
So interesting, because I
What
saw
colour
it
did
as
you
white
see
and
it as?
gold the first time I ever saw it.
Because it is white and gold.
No, okay, well, you know it's been proven that it's not right. Like, it's literally blue and black. But I also was on board with the white and gold, because I remember, this is like a vivid memory I have, right? When I was in school, we had iPads, like, introduced into our curriculum. So it was like year 9 or 10, and we had our iPads. And I remember this girl, she showed me, she was like, what colour did you see this as? And I said, I don't know, like beige and white, basically seeing it as white and gold.
Yeah.
And she was like, nah. Whatever. She said I was wrong. I was like, all right, fuck you then. And then at break, like at playtime, whatever you call it, break, we went outside and we had the iPads, and she got the same picture up and she was showing people. And I swear to God, I saw it as blue and black, and I've never seen it as white and gold since, ever.
No.
And I agree, because I feel like one of the lucky few that has seen it as both. Because now when I look at it, I'm like, how did I ever see that as blue and black?
Wait,
As white and gold, yeah.
I've never in my life seen it as blue
Really?
and black. Never.
And I thought she was pulling a prank on me. I was literally like, that's a different picture. That's a different picture. I was like, you've shown me two different... I thought she was winding me
fair,
up.
I studied the science behind that. When I was doing my masters, they pulled them up and they were like, this is why we see colours differently and blah, blah, blah. I can't remember it now. I feel like we low-key did it in uni as well. It's white and gold. Are you telling me you see blue and black
I see
right
blue
now?
and black.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, I do. And I know exactly what it looks like. And I also see this picture, right, where they try and, like, do both.
Yeah, that's still white and gold.
Well, on that side? No, they've like saturated that to make it look
that's
white
still
and gold.
white and gold, and this one you can see they've put
Yeah.
like a blue hue on the white and gold picture.
So this one and that one are completely different pictures. They've like saturated that to make it look white and gold, but
that's still white and gold to me.
I know, and I really know, and I really wish I could see it like that now, but I just can't.
That's so weird.
I know. So that was one of the topics, just because
Okay.
it was like, I just wondered if anyone else had seen it as
I
both.
feel like I just went back to 2012 or something.
Yeah, I know. And then this is the other thing that happened to me on the train this morning. Didn't happen to me, it happened to someone else. And I don't know if other people find this annoying, right? And yeah, I'm about to sound like one of those I'm a man and I have something to say and I'm gonna make a podcast about it. But just trust me, because like this, it kind of just irked me a bit, right? So this woman got on the train in front of me, like to sit in one of the seats in front of me, and she had a big, it wasn't even that big, like a suitcase, it wasn't that big.
Okay.
And the man sat in front of me, like opposite adjacent, was like, oh, do you want me to help you with that?
Okay.
And she said, no, I'm fine, like, thanks, I'm just going to put it up there. And then she started, like, faffing with her stuff. Not because she couldn't carry it, because she was just, like, sorting herself out.
Yeah.
And then he, like, stood up and put it up there. And I was like, that's annoying. Do you think that's annoying, right? Yes, he was doing a nice thing, but she said no.
Yeah,
She said no.
Follow her.
Just listen.
Yeah.
So I was like, that would really have pissed me off. Because then she was, like, forced to say thank you, and he's now got a big ego boost.
Yeah, if she's said no, I mean, I feel like that's just how consent works, no?
Exactly
Like,
my point. I didn't want to be like, this is the same, but it actually
No, but
is.
it's
But
the
it
same
is.
principle.
Yeah.
Like if someone says no, surely you listen to
Like
that.
maybe if you then saw her absolutely struggling, she was about to die if she dropped it. fine, step in.
You could,
but you literally had no right, in my opinion.
You could argue it's like, was she British? Was she English?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you could argue it was like her being like just wanting to be polite and not say anything, but at the end of the day, she said no.
Yeah, and when I saw the bag, I was like, that wasn't heavy. Like, he just wanted to. I don't know if he was just being like, he probably was just being nice. But I was like, she said no, and that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. Had to get it off my chest. Oh, the other two things that were related to the podcast.
Yeah.
I have been watching films. Not a lot, a few, and also like that is part of my job, low-key. But first one I watched recently, which isn't new, is Arrival. Have you seen Arrival?
No, I haven't. What's it about?
So, on like the surface, you'd think it was going to be quite like a, well, I'll tell you the premise. So basically, aliens, but just no. But this is literally me, right? I'm trying to do this. Like, just trust
aliens.
me. No, trust me so much. It's not like bee boo. I promise you, it's not. It's like really intelligent things. Aliens. They're fucking aliens, right? But like just.
No, I'm not hating on aliens. I love sci-fi and like fake things. Like,
but it's not
Harry
like,
Potter's one of my favorites.
Like it's not like they're shooting goo. Like, well, actually, they literally do that. Like, they literally do that. So ignore that. But anyway, premises. There's these big ships, 12 of them, 12, land on Earth.
Okay.
In the middle of nowhere, basically. No, not what. I can't do speaking words though. Like sometimes I just can't write, which is really ironic because a lot of the thing in Arrival is about language. So
okay.
Really not doing this any justice. But basically, 12 pods in like 12 countries.
Okay.
And then like the smartest scientists, linguists come together and they have to like try and communicate with them, ask them why they're here without causing like a war, I guess, or like they don't know if they're here for harm, they don't know if they're here for good. So Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner,
I like Amy Adams.
are like the two leads.
She's in Enchanted.
Yeah,
I like her.
Our girl.
Yeah.
Is it Giselle? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Giselle?
yeah.
And basically it's like I when I read the premise I was like, oh, so it's going to be like a big aliens versus humans, like I don't know, defeat. I don't know. But it wasn't like that at all. Like, it literally, it wasn't like that at all. It was barely even like mystical, if you will. It was basically just like about language and like teaching them English and trying to communicate. And it was really, really good.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in other species, like other life, yeah.
Outside of Earth?
100%.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it would actually be really
I'd be shocked
ignorant if you didn't think that.
Yeah, and do you know why? Well, this is what I have a hard time thinking about. Do you think that films have been based off of something? So when you think about Dracula, for example, vampires, and like the mermaids and stuff, they were all the ones we have today, obviously very like magical and all of this, but the ones that Bram Stoker was writing about and all of these ones from the 60s and whatever, I feel like they must have been based off of something.
I really do agree.
The real world.
I'm sorry, but dinosaurs were once real.
Yeah.
You can't believe that if a human would have a fish and live underwater. Like 100%. And like sirens and stuff, they don't have to be as like pretty and scary. Like they're probably quite scary looking.
I think very scary looking, very like.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if like right at the bottom of the ocean they do exist, because we've only explored like.
Don't even get me started on the ocean.
Yeah.
People are too comfy in there because we don't know what's there.
No.
The fish don't come on the land.
No.
Yet we're just messing around in
their
habitat. Yeah.
And I just think like we don't know half of what's under there. Have you seen that video where it like goes deeper and it's like, this is how much we know, this is how much is left?
Yeah.
That is the scariest video. Same with the video that shows us how small we are in the universe.
That's why I believe that there's so much out there. So aliens, fair enough.
But no,
I'll watch this
please,
alien movie.
please, no, Tassie, don't make fun.
No, I'm not making fun. I like Harry Potter and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not like that. It's
No,
very like intellectual and like about. No, not that you're not. That's
as in you're saying wrong. Harry Potter. You're saying Harry Potter's not intellectual.
No, I'm not.
What?
I'm not saying that.
I'm confused as to what you're
I'm
saying.
not saying that. Harry Potter's like fun.
It takes a lot to know Harry Potter, though.
Yeah.
So
I don't mean it like that. I'm trying to explain. It's just not like an alien film.
But you said it's about aliens.
Yeah, there's these big aliens and they're like big hands like this, but they're not like scary looking green men.
There can be various derivations of alien.
Exactly.
So it's still an alien film.
Basically, it talks about like how time isn't necessarily linear, memories aren't necessarily linear.
Interesting.
And it's kind of like, and when I watched it, I finished it and I was like, that was a good film, 100%. It's now in my favourites, but I watched a long video essay about it as well.
Okay.
And it made me appreciate it 10 times more.
Thing is, right, with watching video essays and reviews of films, it always makes me change my opinion of the film or TV show or whatever unintentionally.
Yeah.
So I could come away from something being like, oh, that was amazing. And then I watch someone's review and I'm like, oh, actually,
100%.
you have dissected that really well.
100%.
Now I'm second thinking
100%.
this. And I wonder if people watch this, watch our stuff and change their opinions about stuff as
true.
well. Because it's like, I feel like we all have our own original opinions, but because of the internet, we've all kind of become homogenous in that way of thinking.
But like, I love it when you read a review and then it makes you like it more. And that now I want to go and watch it again, because by the end I was like, I kind of knew where it was going in terms of some of the character things, but I won't say anything about that because I do actually really want you to watch it. It's not a long film either.
How long?
Under 2 hours, I'm pretty sure. Like it's like a film length, but it's not long.
Enough. I think anything under 2 hours isn't a long film.
Yeah, but maybe when you've watched it, I'll send you the video essay.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about it again, because like I want to deep dive, but I can't. Like,
I love video essays, by the way.
Me too.
So really excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm intrigued, especially because of the way you've described that.
Yeah, it's really good. And the other thing I watched recently, 2 other things actually. Have you heard of the trilogy, or I don't know if you've seen it, Before Sunrise?
No.
Ethan Hawke?
No.
Oh my god, right? So it's like a trilogy, and it's on the surface not something I would really be interested in, because it's kind of like, it's like romance. So the premise is, in the first one, it's like 95, I want to say. It's quite an old film. Yeah. Okay. Maybe before that. I mean, I said it's old, it's not that old.
Yeah. Well, I'm 23, which is crazy.
But there's 3 of them, and they're only, well, I mean, I think they're done now. It's like a complete thing, but I've only watched 2, so no spoilers, guys. But it's so basic, right? So it's basically this guy and this girl meet on a train. He's from America, she's from France, and they're both going on this train. He's going back to Vienna to take a connecting flight back to the US, and she's going to Paris, but they're on the same train, right? And then they meet, they like get on really well, and then he's like, crazy idea, why don't you get off with me at Vienna, basically. I've got like, as you do, a whole night to kill, and then you can just get back on the train to Paris. I'll go off to America. Fine. And it's basically them.
Would you do that? Sorry.
Yeah.
You'd get off the train with a stranger you just met to explore in the day, like.
But yeah, like why the hell not? Also, this was in the day, right? So like, it wasn't like he was. Oh no, Before Sunrise. This one was in the night. Yeah. So all night they go around and they just do stuff, but it's realistic.
How is that realistic?
I mean, like the things they do and the things they say, they have very real conversations. It's very like almost real time. It feels really,
to be fair,
human watching it.
To be fair, I like movies like that where the whole movie, you're watching like an hour of their life instead of it being like a few years of their life. Yeah. There's a movie that Chris Evans wrote and directed and starred in or something.
He said getting all of these hats.
All of the hats. And it's like a romance, and it takes place over one night as well.
Okay, nice.
It's all right, but like just that concept. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but I agree, and it's like it's something that's really interesting about it. And this, I was really proud of myself for like the analogy here. Okay. The analysis. I don't actually know what analogy means. Is that the same?
Analogy is like something similar to like.
Oh.
It's like you're describing.
So analysis of like what was happening.
Yeah. Analysis.
Okay. So on the train, before they get off, so this is literally in the first like 10 minutes, they just have really real conversations, and that actually doesn't normally interest me. Like I've said this before, I'm more about plot. I just enjoy things more, that I can appreciate something that's character driven, but I love a plot, right? Okay. And this is definitely not plot based. This is character based. This is like conversations, like, and it honestly, do you know, it made me think I've never had a real conversation in my life.
What do you mean?
These lot were talking about stuff that I wouldn't even dream of talking about, like not because I don't want to, but because they were just so, I don't know, it was so real, right? No, you literally, no, literally, that breath was like, I've got something to say.
It just reminded me of how, you know, when you think about therapy, how people say they find it easier to talk to complete strangers and really go deep really quickly than you would with people you know, out of fear of being judged, maybe. Yeah, so maybe that's it. But like, I personally, I don't know, because I've never done therapy. I don't know how to like how that feels.
How's that?
I would love to do therapy though. That's one thing I want to do, but it's so expensive.
Oh, so expensive. The only reason I got it free was because we were at uni.
Yeah.
I was also forced into it, but you know.
No, but it's good. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it was a good thing to do. And that's the thing. Maybe you're right, because their conversations were so real, but I think that in their heads, well, like the whole thing was they were never going to see each other again, right? Like they literally were separate ways. Why don't we just get it all out in the open now? Do you know what I mean?
So did they never see? Or actually didn't.
Well, there's 3. So
you haven't seen the third one?
I've seen the second one. Okay. I don't know if you want me to tell you or not.
No, I don't.
Because I really want you to watch it. And also,
really
the second one is really short. It felt like a short film.
Okay.
Like it was literally, I was watching, and also the ending is very abrupt. So I thought I'd clicked a dodgy link that like hadn't put the whole film on, but then I checked the runtime and it was literally like, yeah, that's the whole film. I think it was like 90 minutes or something.
Oh, okay.
Actually, maybe less. I don't know. Anyway, but one of the things, this is my analysis, right? On the train, he said to her, I want to be a writer. I want to write for a screen. Like one of my ideas is like ideas.
Ideas, yeah.
Idea.
And they say British people can't do American accents.
Point proved, I'm great. But he's like, should I just do it in a British accent? I don't know if it was wrong.
No, do it in American.
He was like, because he was so passionate about it. He was like, I want to make a TV series where we just study someone that works in a supermarket. Market? Like,
market? Like, that's good.
Thank you so much. So someone that works in a supermarket. And I want to watch them for 24 hours a day. I want to, like, it's basically going to be a normal life, right? So he's pitching this TV show to her and she's at first like, she's French. She's like, this is a little boring. Like, whoa, that sounded really sexy.
That really did.
I'm going into offensive territory, so I'm going to reel back the accent. But she's basically like, who wants to see that?
Okay.
But then you're watching the film and you're like, I am watching you have the most almost mundane, like you're not doing anything exciting. They're not going and doing things. They are walking around Vienna talking. And I thought, oh my God, his thing on the train was about watching almost like real-time things. And it's not real-time, obviously, because you go throughout the whole night. Yeah. But it feels very real-time. Because you'll watch a 15-minute clip where there's no cuts.
Wow.
And I just really want you to watch it.
That's really interesting.
Again, watch that. We'll talk about it.
Because I feel like exactly what you said. I think most people are very plot-driven. Like the characters are just there to kind of aid the plot. You don't really focus too much on who they are as people and what their motives are, so that's interesting. But
you will like it.
I definitely
but I feel like I know that we're supposed to be doing tropes, but we're kind of talking about tropes, right? Like things in films.
That is a trope.
A trope is watching people have conversations, like really long real-time conversations.
I wonder if there are more films that are more like that, like real time. I do also love the like continuous shot. The only film that I've seen that's done it really well is 1917.
That's insane, by the way. So absolutely insane.
The thing is, they did obviously film it in scenes, but the way it was edited, which is why I feel like the editors are the secret.
But there's only like 2 cuts that like I don't know. I to this day do not understand that.
I watched it behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but they did film it in sections. Yeah. The way they edited it, because when they go past like poles and stuff, you can just like mask it or whatever. Yeah. So they filmed it in sections, but it's edited to look like one shot. But their shots were really long. That film was
really good.
So they'd have like rehearsals for days.
Yeah,
just practicing one continuous shot.
I really do want to I wish they'd filmed BTS the entire time.
I know.
I would literally, because I know that I remember watching it because I'd heard about the one shot thing before seeing it. So I was like, I'm going to go in and find the cats. And I remember there was 2 like behind trees where it was very like, okay, cool, you can cut there. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they were doing like half an hour scenes.
Oh yeah.
Genuinely.
They were long shoots.
Those extras as well, I just want to say, as like I've worked in film, right?
Yeah.
The extras and supporting actors. They had to be on the ball, right? Because you've got obviously like the professional leads and they've got to learn lines and they've got to do this. But every single person had such a big responsibility in that. Because if you're not on your mark and you don't walk out their way when they're walking through a trench, you've fucked a half an hour piece. I feel like you've absolutely fucked it.
Can we talk about how awkward it is for extras? Because have you been?
Yes.
So I was an extra as well. We've both done extra work supporting actor. Well, not really supporting actor.
We're extras. Extra. You're extra. You're there as an accessory. I'm so sorry to break it to some of them because I don't think they can.
No. We'll talk about our experiences.
Yeah.
So what was your scene? My scene was a underground rave.
That's quite fun. Oh, actually,
it was not fun.
Thinking about that now.
Fun.
So sorry. Just grabbing my.
It looked fun because So yeah, it was an underground rave for Channel 4 or Channel 5 show or something like that called Bulletproof. Don't know if anyone's seen it. With like Ashley Walters.
Haven't.
And we were doing this underground scene and I was like, oh, that's so fine. That's where I saw Christine. That's where I reconnected with Christine, actually, who was one of our guests. She was also an extra.
God, look at these links, guys.
Amazing. And they were like, so what you guys are going to do is just dance and we're just going to keep dancing. There's going to be a guy performing on stage and then the people are going to run through. They're going to have an argument and then you guys are going to hear gunshots. Everyone's going to go down to the ground and we're going to like, you're going to scurry away. I was like, sick.
Yeah.
I was like, waiting for the music to turn on. They were like, so we're going to play these clicks in the background and just pretend that there's music and dance. And then we'll tell you. I was like, oh, we just have to stand and dance in silence. And when these people are talking, still pretend to be dancing. Like,
that is awkward. I think I'd have left
so
if that was
awkward.
like, if I'd got to set the day I was an extra and they said that, I'd be like, no.
Imagine doing that all day.
I'm really, really sorry I won't be taking part.
It was excruciating. Now you understand when you watch those scenes in movies and shows where there's like a dance, like a school dance or something. The dancing is ghastly because there's no music they're dancing to.
No.
But yeah, what was your scene?
I was a wedding guest.
Yours is so funny just because of the people you met.
Girl. I don't even think I don't think I should delve into the ones I've met when I've been working on a film, not as an extra, because I want my job.
Yeah, no.
Thank
when you were the extra.
But okay, before I get into that, one thing I will say about when I was working on a job, no mentions of what or where or why or how, but I was working on it, and one of the essays bought a personal assistant.
I'm sorry, no, but I'm not laughing because of the personal assistant.
I am.
It's just because they could have been someone like have another life, a Hannah Montana type of vibe. Like they could just be doing that on the side of their like really important career where they need an assistant. I would feel so awkward.
But this is the thing, right?
Anywhere
on that specific film, a couple of the other essays, had lines like one line. I'm talking, but you already have like immediate priority, and it wasn't the one that had the essay. The personal assistant, and the scene. Also, like, it wasn't a scene where essays were seen. There was 250 of them. I'm not talking you were one of 10. You were one of 250.
And they brought a personal assistant.
The lead actors, again, no mention of who, were in a top balcony, like a top floor.
Okay.
And the camera was looking down into like the bottom bit where the 250 crowd were. They're called crowd, right? Blurry, weren't seen, zilch, nothing. And you got a personal assistant. But you know what? At the end of the day, who am I to judge?
No, I reckon they just must have been like a really... Yeah. Like, they must have another life where there's someone who needs a personal assistant. And they're just doing this on the side, like super cash. For example, if like as Seen In was like huge and you needed a personal assistant and then you decide one day, oh, let me just be an extra real quick. Like I'm bored. I guess. Your personal assistant will go with you.
You justifying it. I mean, sure, I want to keep my job. I love you guys. Keep doing what you do. Love you guys. Woo!
I also did another one where I was a Bollywood dancing extra.
Yeah, I was in a Bollywood film.
There are a lot of Bollywood movies leading extras.
And they film over here a lot.
A lot. So if you're looking for extra work...
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've just thought about the other thing I was supposed to speak to you about, but you carry on first.
I was just going to say, if you are looking for extra work, there's loads of Bollywood films always filming. And you get to wear amazing clothes.
Well, I didn't, because I was at a wedding, and it was like a wedding between someone from England and someone from India, so I actually just had to wear like England clothes. Wow. Which is really sad and boring, but I mean, they wore fun clothes. Like their weddings was also one thing I'll say about Bollywood actually filming is they are chaos.
Oh, like, yeah, I remember
working. I did this extra job before I had a job in film properly, like working as crew, and I kind of thought this is how all films were going to run. And when I say it was like absolute chaos, like in a good, like, I mean, it was fun, obviously, but there was drama left, right, and centre. There was like constant conflict. There was conflict between the venue we were shooting at, which now I work in locations. I know you would never piss off the person whose like property you were on, right? I know that they were filming past times they shouldn't have been. Like there was drama, right?
Oh my gosh.
But chaos, but it's so funny to watch.
I can imagine. Yeah, I remember there being chaos just with the director and the people who were like on production and stuff. But they, at the end of the day, they just all love making.
Oh, and they
film.
get it done, and they get it done, and it looks
good.
great.
Yeah.
I don't get how they make it look so good, right? Because I remember thinking, how on earth, like, surely you've got seconds of footage, right? And they produce these like 3-hour films, and they like look perfect.
That's the thing. I feel like it just goes to show that there's so many different ways of getting something done.
Yeah,
Like there's no one perfect way.
yeah.
But yeah, what was the other thing you were gonna say?
Yeah, there's two now I'm thinking about. The one is my experience as the extra on that. So the other extras I was with, I when I say like I didn't speak to a soul, right? I kept to myself. I spoke to one mother and daughter duo who were nice. They were like giving me advice and stuff. So I was like, right, you guys are cool. But I was overhearing people, and I was like, the literal jokes of this, right? This guy was saying to like everyone, I'm a model, like I'm literally a model, like I'm a model, and like, how did you get this gig? I got it from an agent. I signed up online and got an email saying you free, and I said yeah. I am absolutely nobody, never done it before. My agent got me this gig. And then he said that. Then the people were like, okay, so what do you do? Because like what do you actually do? And he was like, he was a carpenter. Like, fair enough. Absolute slave to the carpentry world, but just say. But he didn't say he was a carpenter. He was like, oh, like help with house, like fixing house, like doing stuff for houses. Like, so you.
What is with the shame around having jobs?
If anything, I'm more impressed you can build a fence,
right?
Than sit and do what I'm doing, pretending to be a wedding guest. Like, that's more impressive to
like,
me.
if someone were to tell me like, oh, I'm a carpenter, I'd be like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like you have skills.
Like, genuinely respect for your craft.
Like, I'm out here trying to like sell, just do nothing.
Yeah. No, literally, yeah. So that made me laugh.
No, that's so funny.
If you do ever get a chance to be an extra, guys, just observe. It's
just
really fun.
I would say
it's
do
really
it
fun.
just for a day. It's so funny.
And watch the other people around you when the cameras are on.
Yeah.
And also watch in your favourite films and stuff, because I'm sure you'll see an extra doing something really funny. Like I was watching Hannah Montana the other day, and there was an extra in that made me die. Me and Ellie were like, huh? Like, no lines, just doing the most. And I was like, you know what? Good.
It's so sick.
No, so my next point was, have you ever seen a Bollywood film in the cinema?
In the cinema, no. I do have my favourite Bollywood film though.
Okay, I'll tell you why you know if you saw it in the cinema.
Okay.
They have intervals.
Really?
Yeah, so halfway through, it says to be continued, and then the lights come up in the cinema for 10 minutes, and you have a little break.
That's insane. That's
I went
amazing.
with Kevin. Shout out Kevin. Hope you're watching this, to be honest. We went the other day, and he was like, have you ever seen one in the cinema? I was like, no. And he was like, this is going to be fun. Because we had no idea.
So cool.
Yeah.
Like a little theatre show.
Yeah. So it's called, the one I saw was called Pathan. Oh, that's going to be wrong. Pathan.
Yeah.
And apparently, obviously, I don't really know the Bollywood space, but it was like this was like the most anticipated Bollywood film, right? 3 of their major Bollywood stars that have been doing this for like 20 years were all coming together to do a film. They'd done films like 2.
Yeah.
But this was like huge, right?
Okay, nice.
Honestly, I've never been more entertained in my entire life.
Honestly, the Bollywood films, no one's doing it like them. No one, not a soul. The only thing that I thought would, like, I remember when I was younger and watching Cheetah Girls 2, that's when I was like, I need to explore this world even more. Like, this is insane. I just love different cultures. Like, it's so amazing when you step out of like Hollywood and like UK films, because everyone else is just doing so well as well.
Literally.
Like,
it was so good. Like,
Hollywood.
There was just things that I was like, and also, do you know what makes me laugh so much is that they don't care how unrealistic the stunts look. Like, you're gonna believe it. Like, there were so many scenes where they were on top of like moving trains, and they were just stood dead still, like a tiny bit of wind, and then they were just like having conversations on top of this train, like, what should we do next? Well, I mean, they obviously weren't saying it in English, but they were saying, like, what should we do next? And like, have you, oh my God, bomb, and then they duck. And I was like, what's going on? But what's your favourite Bollywood one? You said
Om Shanti Om.
What is that premise?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a musical.
Okay, yeah. They often have songs, yeah.
It's just, Kaylee, it's phenomenal.
I will watch it.
It's phenomenal. Obviously, I was so much younger when I watched it.
Yeah.
I was in primary school.
Oh, God.
And I think I was primary school. And I just remember being so enchanted by the music, mainly.
Yeah, so most of them have
and the dancing
songs throughout. Yeah, the dancing. This one had 2. So one midway through, she absolutely slayed, by the way. And then one at the end, which was like a big number. And I was speaking to Kevin and I was like, what the fuck is their budget, right? Because this film already had ridiculous stunts, like, and yeah, obviously you can tell there were stunts, hence the like standing up on a train. But they were still done well. And he said that honestly, most of their budget will go on the one song that's like post credits. It's crazy. I watched that whole film, and then I was like, and they had money to do that.
Yeah. They're incredible.
So good. I want to be. I'm going to watch more at the cinema as well.
I want to watch one in the cinema now, and I want to just see more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Obviously, because after being in Bollywood films, the both of us.
Yeah.
We saw a bit of the like behind the scenes, but I want to see without being involved.
Yeah. So
people are gonna think we've been like main characters.
No,
I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna think that. Actually.
No, I hope no one thinks that.
The non-Indian, it's okay. But yeah, I feel like we've just chatted for half an hour.
No, I think we have, but I think it's worth it.
It was so good.
I do have one other thing to mention,
okay,
and this one's really short because it's like just a recommendation.
Okay.
But I've really liked my career in cinema at the moment. I've been like enjoying this new film that's just been released in the UK. It's called Broker.
Okay.
Went to see it at the cinema the other day. Tati literally cried from like.
You don't cry at films that easy.
Like, it has to be good, do you know what I mean? It has to be. Well, I cry at films easy, but only, well, if I Believe is anything to go off, I didn't cry at that. But No, yeah.
I'll cry at like something happy as well.
Yeah.
But you'll cry only if it's like actually cry worthy.
But I promise you. But then it... Broker, right? So it wasn't even... I don't even think it was supposed to be that sad. Because it's like... Oh, I don't want to say... I just really want everyone to watch it, right? I'll give you the premise. And it does sound dark. But it's like... I don't know how to...
way?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
But it's like... It is, but it's... Right, I'm just going to explain it. And then I'll have to defend myself.
Okay.
So the premise is about... I don't know if these are things in America or England. I don't think so. But have you heard of like a baby box?
A baby box?
So they normally go in... So it's a box where mothers can leave babies and then like anonymously just give the babies away to go into care, right? But it's normally in like a church or something. So you put them in and then someone on the other side of the box like takes the baby in. I'm struggling to understand it, but I think that is a thing in places, right?
That's a thing in places?
I don't know. But I mean, I'm presuming they haven't made this up.
People make things up in films.
Yeah, I know, but like... I don't know. But anyway, premises.
I'd hope that's not real.
Know. I don't know. But it's like giving it up, but it's like it's going into care. I really do not know. Don't quote me.
Okay.
Probably should have done some research. But
so like adoption, but like anonymous adoption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the premise is this mother leaves a baby in like by the church box, whatever. And two men take the baby. And they do this, they intercept sometimes to human traffic. Okay.
Huh?
No. Human trafficking, but like in a good way. Okay, no. Not in a good way.
I just don't think...
No. Just, I promise you, these two guys, one of them works for the church, so he like has he can take the baby without it being like too sus, can delete the footage, whatever. They take babies and then they sell them to parents who can't conceive. It is illegal, hence the human trafficking thing, but like they're not selling them to like a big... They find a family, right? It's dark. It sounds dark.
Sell the baby.
Yeah, for money. So like a healthy young boy might be like quite expensive. So let me just know, because it sounds bad. I mean, it is bad. Like it literally is bad, right? It is. I'm not saying human trafficking is good. Like literally, do not do that. Don't do that. Don't get any ideas. I'm trying to defend this film so much. So, okay, they take said baby, right? So this mother drops it off. She leaves a note. It says, I'll come back for you. Obviously, they always leave a note that says that and they never come back. Yeah. 99% of the time.
Yeah.
So they take the baby and they take it back to their house for when they're like setting up the sale. Right? One of the guys works at the church. So the next day, the mother comes back, which obviously never happens, says to the church, I left a baby here last night. Really want it back. Like, feel a bit bad.
Oh my God.
They're like, no baby was here last night. No records of a baby. Because obviously they've taken the fucking baby. And then the mother's like, that's suspicious. And obviously before she goes to the police...
But what do you mean that's suspicious? She gave it...
Yeah, but like she's then like, where's my baby? Because they have like a daycare bit where they then start to like...
So the babies
raise
are
the babies.
So they don't get taken away straight away.
No. And the church isn't involved in the trafficking. It's just these two guys.
Right.
Just like making a side hustle. It's like a side hustle. Just trust me. Just trust me. Because I haven't got to like the actual plot yet. This is like the absolute beginning bit. So also, by the way, there's two detectives on. So it's like dual story, right? We've got the guys, and we've got these two detectives who are like kind of suspicious of them and trying to catch them. So the mum comes back. She's like, so sorry about that. Okay. She's like, where the hell is my baby? I left it here last night. Yeah. And it's not with all the other kids. They're like, nah. So then obviously the two guys are like, shit, she's going to go to the police. Let's intercept before. So they approach her, tell her basically, we're going to sell your baby. We're not going to give it back to you, but we'll give you some of the money. You were going to give it up anyway. She's like, yeah, I'm young. Actually, you're right. Like, I kind of did want to give the baby up, but I want to make sure it's going to a good family. So she helps try and find the perfect family to raise the baby. Just trust me, right? So the whole thing then starts with, it's almost like a road trip of them like trying to find the perfect family to buy the baby. And it starts to become apparent that they don't actually just care about the money. They care about the baby because...
Who? The men?
The men and the mum. Because they're like... the first family, I can't remember what it was. Oh, they said the baby was ugly. And they were like, don't call the baby ugly.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, if it's about the money, they'd just give the baby up straight away, right?
Yeah, facts.
But then, okay, so they're just... Basically, it's about that. And then you do start to find out, like, one of the guys was left on by his mum, and there's a place that they go to where he checks up on children, and like obviously it's bad, and terrible. Like the detectives are there, so like stuff happens. But I promise you, it got to like the last third, couldn't breathe.
It's like hurt people.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's interesting. Right. That's interesting.
I couldn't breathe because I was crying.
Wow.
But like it wasn't even like particularly sad. It was just like I felt everyone's emotion, not the ASMR. I felt every single person in the road trips feelings, because it was the four of them, so the two guys, the baby and the mum. And then when they, I said there was this other place that they visit.
Yeah.
So they go and visit this other place, and they're in this like big van, right? This is like their little abduction van. Sounds bad. And there's this one child that really wants to be adopted, and they say like, I'm so sorry. And it's obviously really sad because it's unlikely that he was like 7 or something, that he would be adopted at 7. And he basically sneaks into their van, so he ends up going on the road trip with them. Aww. So it's like they're a little family, and oh my God, just watch it so much.
Broker.
Guys, watch it at your local cinemas or wherever.
Oh my gosh. Please. I feel like we've given you some really great recommendations.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I feel like I can't breathe from talking so much. So I feel really passionate.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
This was really good.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know if you have any recommendations for us.
Yeah.
If you've watched any of the films that we've spoken about, and if you're going to. But yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks so much. I don't know what we're going to title this one.
We'll see.
Catch up.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.